Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I'm your host, Christian Espinal, and joining me through Discord, it is my partner in crime, Joshua. Gangsta Time Cole.
Called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Good morning, y'all. Glad to be here, clocking in on this AM shit.
Yeah. First AM official episode ever. So you guys are in for a treat. We got actual sunlight coming in from me. I'm actually pretty happy about it. But also joining us on this very first edition of the morning version of the pod, it is Edgelord Big News 64-ounce Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Hello. Oh man, I am stoked to be here Saturday morning. Let's get into plugs right away. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, I'm switching it up again. Where can they find you?
On Instagram as well. And that's at JDCole_37.
Yeah. Brian, where can they find you?
On Instagram as well, but also on Twitter. You can find me at b.esp. You can also find me on twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Oh, yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to take part in the weekly RGC poll that we usually do, that will we allow the audience to vote on what their favorite chapter is. And yeah, please do. That's it. Let's get it popping, because there has been an undisputed king of the manga for the last, I don't know, 17 weeks that is looking for a challenger. So get on there and vote. Let's see what we could do. If you want to email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about, or you can comment below and let us know what you think of the pod. Also, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora. We're everywhere. If you want the audio version of the podcast, which usually comes out a little earlier than the video version, mostly because of editing. But yeah, go on that. Also, if you're listening to the audio version exclusively, you can log on to our YouTube. The link is in the description of your iTunes or whatever. You can click on it and it'll bring you to our YouTube channel where we have visual aids. So come on there. And without further ado, it is time to start the show proper. Let us randomize.
Bloody Cross.
One Piece.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is One Piece chapter 1006, The Honorable Hyogoro the Flower. Dope color page to start, first of all. Oda's color pages are so cool. I actually...
Goosebumps down your,
yeah.
down your arm.
It's funny, I actually saw the process. I think there was like a video out there that shows like his process in creating this color page spread. And he went... Yeah, and he went through like so many drafts. It wasn't even originally going to be like Kaido's main crew. It was going to be like another Straw Hat one, but he was like, I guess fuck it. He just drew Kaido in them. And I'm pretty stoked about it. I like this.
X-Drake is kind of out of place here now.
Yeah, I mean, he does look like the only person. He does look like the only person not happy to be there. So, you know, I guess he's got it right there. We start off with kind of where we left off before. Yamato has escaped with Shinobu. One of these scouts that are out here on Kaido's side is like watching over the battle. And this person's announcing everything that's happening kind of over a loudspeaker, so I guess like people know where they are. But luckily Sanji kind of overhears it, and he's like, "Oh shit, they're after Shinobu and Momo." And it's funny, I didn't realize this even. Like Sanji doesn't even know that Yamato is on their side or even knows who they are. But yeah, so he just he tries to interrogate one of Kaido's people to see where like the sealed storeroom is where they are, because he might need to help them out. So Yeah, and it's revealed that they're in the direct opposite location to where he was gonna go with Kinemmon's group. So yeah, he's got to deliberate as to who needs him more between Shinobu and the Akazaya 9. So he makes his decision and he runs off. We don't know where he's going. My bet would be on going to help Momonosuke and Shinobu. I have a feeling that like he won't be able to abandon a woman in need. So I feel like he'll just go to Shinobu. But who knows? Maybe he'll surprise us. There is somebody up with the Akazaya 9, so maybe it's their battle to take down Jack, whoever they are.
But those guys were fucked up. The samurai were really, really fucked up.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they need Sanji more than
He
fucking
yelled at
Momo
them,
does.
and they got cut up.
Yeah, but they have somebody there like looking after them. We just don't know who it is.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Remember, like I think like maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, they showed that someone was up there with the Akazaya 9.
Brian predicted that it would be Inaru.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, the fucking long years thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess it makes sense for him to go for Momo then, because then we could actually get a reveal of who's protecting them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the Onigashima entrance, there's a display of disrespect.
I remember this shit.
Oh man. Okay, so the moon has been kind of like blocked out by the clouds or the smoke or whatever of the battle going on in Onigashima. So Perospero uses the opportunity to defeat both Wanda and Carrot. And he is like, ha ha ha, it's a shame for you Moonlight Warriors that your potential victory should require the luck of the weather above you. And I'm like, damn, that sucks.
You forgot to add the pedaling.
Oh,
Yeah, come on.
wait, guys, I'm charging it up. Pedaling.
I gotta hear the Japanese voice actor do it.
Pedaling. I need a reference point. So I might watch the episode, like one of these episodes with Perospero in it. But yeah, so Carrot's down, and he's just straight up dissing her to her face. He like picks her up just to call her a piece of shit, basically. Which is like, oh, vengeance for Pedro. What did you think would happen that you waltz into our home and set up a nice little picnic in the territory of the dreaded Big Mom pirates?
That's true, man. They had to lose.
It is true. It's like, who do you think you are? You're a bunny. Blam! And yeah, it's just nothing but disrespect from Perospero. He's just like, you should have stayed home and nibbled at your grass, rabbit. And now Perospero has like entered the battle at large. He's going to be a player in what's coming up next, as he leaves Carrot behind in the dust of her defeat.
This was so fucking disappointing, but I guess it makes sense. I guess, Perospero's a lot stronger than, I want him to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's the oldest son of the Big Mom pirates, so he's...
Yeah, he has the candy fruit, so...
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, like, he got kind of lucky because the moon was faced out. So...
Yeah, but even then, those two without the moon can't, put in some work.
It's like when you're playing Smash Bros. And then you win because the opponent, like
DC'd or something.
Life off the stage by accident.
Yeah.
They and you're like, I got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You talking about that shit, and it's like, damn, bro,
like chill.
So what our mink basically only use, like, if you're not Cat Viper or Dogstorm, you're useless without the fucking moon? Is that basically
No, I wouldn't say she's useless. I mean, it's just Perospero is just, like, really strong. He's an emperor of the Big Mom pirates, so you would need all your power to kind of beat him if you're like a mink warrior. Because Carrot's pretty like, she's pretty competent as a regular fighter. It's just Perospero's just on another level. So you would need, like, you wouldn't fight Frieza in Goku's base form, would you? You know?
I mean, he could.
Not well. Like, he wouldn't win.
I mean, now he probably would.
All right, Brian. Okay. Dragon Ball expert. Meanwhile, back at the performance floor, everyone's dying because of the Ice Oni shit. And Yeah, it's getting real dire. Chopper's mixing up the cure right now. And Apu doesn't know what to do because he's trying to get to Chopper, but he's currently being guarded by Diaz Drake and Hyogoro, who has come back to his like regular form. He's no longer this shriveled up old geezer anymore. He's like gone back to his former glory. Yeah, Apu is pretty stressed because he's like, fuck, I gotta fight both of these motherfuckers. And basically, Hyogoro has like transformed into his old self because the Ice Oni is kind of just drawing out all of his power to like kill him, I guess. It's weird. Like, it's kind of convenient, but it's also like, it's Hyogoro. It's not like a main character that's going to have this massive impact on the story, so whatever. But yeah, he calls out to his Yakuza leaders and is like, before I try, when I, if Chopper can't finish the medicine in time and I begin to turn into an Ice Oni, I want you to end me before I turn, because I'll be just too strong in the Ice Oni for anybody on this platform to stop me. And everybody's like, no, I don't want to kill you, boss. But yeah, Kaido Samurai are like, oh, we'll take you on. The Mimawari Gumi. Jeez. We'll take you on. Mimawari Gumi. We'll take you on. I said it in one try. I said it in one go. So he tried. They tried to do something, but then he does his flaming hair of holy rage, and I guess his hair goes on fire and it burns everyone.
Bro, why are One Piece henchmen always talking the wildest shit?
They really are. They really always think they can take down like Kaido. Like, they're really out here like, yo, we're gonna destroy everyone.
Did I tell you next time I saw you was on site, bitch?
Basically.
I think, like, all jokes aside, like, Oda does that constantly, and I think it's just to kind of hammer down the point that these people have just been winning.
Yeah,
they're just
like,
realists.
Not challenged, like, they're bullies, you know what I'm saying? They've been bullying
for
all these years, and this is finally almost ending up to them.
Yeah, they're backed by Kaido.
Usually the case.
They're backed by Kaido, so they think they're a big deal. So, and
then even the people that were backed by Crocodile at that time, he was a really big deal.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the people who are backed by Alvida.
It makes it even better when they get punched in the face and like you see their face painting.
Yeah, they really can't believe what just happened to them. Did I just get one-shotted?
I really want to see a chapter dedicated to a One Piece henchman that got his confidence shattered. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, Django, I guess. Who else? There's a fullback.
Is he the guy with the glasses?
Yeah, he's the Michael Jackson looking guy. And there's Full Body. He got his shit wrecked by Sanji off screen, and his confidence was shattered. There's some folks who got a little focus after getting destroyed. But in any case, as Hyogoro is going through just slashing people left and right, he starts thinking to himself and talking to Odin in his mind, thinking about it like, if I challenged Kaido back at you, things might have been different. But you know what? Look at what your followers have done. They've pulled off this raid in your name, and I too have gained the most fascinating apprentice. And he remembers Luffy, and I'm like, aw. But yeah, as he's doing his thing, Queen pulls up and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna dinosaur laser you. You're fucking done, bro.
And it's just like, of course. Yes, that's what I think about.
Yeah, no,
I about the long neck dinosaurs that they should be.
They explain why he does it. I think he has like a weapon in his mouth that allows him to do it.
Okay.
Like he's not just a dinosaur who shoots lasers.
Like, okay, is that what it allows you to do?
Yeah, is that what the powers are? But yeah,
I mean, it's cool as hell.
For sure.
And you got this huge dinosaur shooting the beams like Godzilla almost.
Yeah.
I like this. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he's about to blast Hyogoro, but then he himself gets blasted by the Phoenix brand.
On his neck.
Yeah.
Grf.
Grf is his resulting noise. So yeah, Marco is still not down, and he's like fighting both Queen and King at the same time. There's some cool action ensues. King manages to cut off his wing, and then he just lands, and he uses that wing, redirects it right back at him with his bluebird attack, just sends King flying backwards. And then, just like a pro wrestler, Marco jumps down and knees him from like 50 feet in the air.
Yeah, that shit looked cool.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking awesome. Blasted the shit. Look how fast he was going. He broke the sound.
This was my favorite part of the chapter.
Yeah, Marco puts...
With seeing Marco just fucking rolling these guys.
Yeah, he is putting in the work. He broke the sound barrier 3 times with that knee. It was wild. So, while he's in there, after he just blasted King into this building, Queen pulls up thinking he's going to do something with just a regular gun. And then Marco says, "Psych, bitch," and then just, like, kicks him fucking straight into the other building across the street, basically. But at this point, Marco's getting kind of tired because he is holding off the second and third in commands of Kaido's crew for the most part. So, yeah, he's just like, hurry up, Chopper. But, man, and Marco's troubles are about to get even worse because out in the distance, he spots, Perospero spots Marco, and he's like, "Oh, you look a little tired there, Marco. I'm going to do some shiesty shit.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty high on the shiesty spectrum. I'm going to fuck you up."
Oh, yeah.
Pretty high on the shiesty spectrum.
So, yeah, the chapter ends at back at Hyogoro. His, like, Ice Oni is slowly taking over him, like, more and more, and he's done all he could. So the mafia dude is going to have to lop his fucking head off because, he's going to be... Yeah, he's going to be too much of a danger as an Ice Oni. And
I'm pretty sure Chopper's going to save him.
I would hope so.
Chapter.
I thought Hyogoro was kind of cool. I don't want him to die.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to die.
You never know. This may be it. For young Hyogoro.
Man, I'll be pretty upset.
The old dog.
Young.
Come on.
Yeah, this was a really fun chapter. I liked it quite a bit. It is just like a ton of action. So yeah, I'm very into it. I can't wait for the next chapter.
Hope when we cut back to Luffy and them that they're not fucked up.
They probably will be. Honestly, I think like that's what the buildup is going to be. I doubt that they're going to cut back and both Big Mom and Kaido are just down off screen. So yeah, I think they're probably going to cut to them just a little beat up, pretty fucked up. I don't see it happening any other way. But it won't be the end. It'll just be them being like, "Oh, they're so strong, but we won't give up." But I'm here for it. Can't wait to see where Sanji goes. I want to know who Sanji meets Yamato. Oh man, he's gonna be stoked. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got to say about One Piece. Are you guys ready to move?
Oh yeah.
Then it is time to randomize. Daredevil. This is Daredevil number 28. Does that look what I think it is, Josh?
I'm gonna be patient.
All right, I'll wait for you. Okay, so the issue picks up in Elektra's very nice apartment. She's just chilling. She's even got like a portrait of herself on the wall there.
Yeah, she sure does.
Yeah, she lives lavish, dude. She's doing her morning workouts, and then she walks into Alice's room, the girl she saved in the King in Black story. And we cut to this hospital where Wilson Fisk is waiting on Typhoid Mary. And this takes place like after King in Black, despite the fact that King in Black has not technically ended yet. So they're just going forward, and I appreciate it a little bit. I'm glad that we're moving.
Yeah, because come on, we get it.
Yeah, we got it. They win. I mean, it's not going to be.
They did a tie-in already. Cool, it's not. They ignored it.
Yeah, they're done.
Like other series. Yeah.
Cool. Meanwhile, Daredevil is like I guess at this one of his hearings, oh no, this is in jail. He gets visited by Karen, right? That's her name. His love interest from a while ago, and she's like, "Yo, I mean." Oh wait, no wait. Yeah, she goes to visit Matt, and she notices his face is a little fucked up, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And that's the name of this issue. Actually, it's "Are you okay?" Which is very apt to describe what this issue is about. Elektra is just like, I don't feel like dealing with this girl. She's like so weak.
She breaks it down too.
Yeah, she's
like.
It's kind of funny because she sounds empathetic at first, and then she's like, yeah, she has nowhere to go. I sympathize with her. She lost her mom. The woman she died was her foster mom, so it wasn't even her real mom. And this girl is like alone and doomed to the system.
I understand alone,
but I don't understand weak. Oh my God, Elektra! Come on. But yeah, she's basically, I'm used to just dealing with strong people and ninjas and shit. So, these middling children with their non-parents that are dead now just makes it, I don't get it. And I don't have the patience for it, basically. So I like that she's kind of gaining respect for what Matt does as Daredevil to a degree, like respect for his empathy, because she doesn't have it as strong as he does. And she's like, how do you fucking deal with these weaklings, Matt? Typhoid Mary seems to be like in a bad place ever since she was taken over by Null. She felt like good before King in Black, but then after when Null came in, it really fucked her up because there was a third voice in her head. I guess she suffers from this schizophrenia stuff, so she can't, like, a third voice is just too much at this point. And she's not having a great time about it. Wilson Fisk kind of assures her that she's not alone, and we cut over back to Daredevil talking to Karen, and Kirsten, sorry, my bad. And she basically just calls him out. It's like, yo, we could have won, and you would have not been in prison. And Matt's like, no, it was the right thing to do to be here. And there's a lot of this issue is basically echoing this kind of point, is that you think it was the right thing to do to take up a cell because in prison services because you have something to prove. Prison gonna make you a better person? Are you gonna learn some truths here? And I mean, that's not a bad point. The idea that like Matt is taking up resources for his conscience, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, back in the
resources at that doesn't really help you.
Yeah,
like it's kind of like it's an example. We'll break it down later.
Yeah.
We'll break it down later.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a scene here where Daredevil sits next to Marcus, who is a prisoner. He's kind of befriended while he was in here. And he's basically like, he thanks him for what he did in the King of Black. And he's basically like, yeah, just because I helped you, now they think I'm your bitch. So this is cool, I guess. And Daredevil says, like, the other day you said me being here was a full-on fantasy. What did you mean by that? And Marcus gets up, was like, yeah, no, it's not my job to really educate you on that. You gotta figure it out for yourself because I got enough problems. I'm in prison, basically. But yeah, well, we learn a little bit more about what he means later on. So we get introduced to this guy named Neil. He was in for homicide, and he's just like looking for a friend because he's kind of alone in this place. And people are kind of just like, he's got like really shitty people breathing down his neck, basically. So, and Daredevil wants nothing to do with him. So he's like, fuck that. We get this. Then Daredevil goes to this like prison services lady. It seems she has something to do with kind of like preparing people for leaving the prison and being adjusted to a regular life, making sure they're kind of set up for life on the outside and able to kind of readjust properly. And yeah, she has a mouthful for him too. It's she's basically like, this place is filled with people who've only known inequality and are now being helped by putting them in the most unequal place possible to remind them of that fact. But you chose to be here. You're an inequality tourist. That's an interesting term to say. But yeah. But Matt's like, no, I'm here because I broke a law, and this is what happens when you break laws, and it's a message to others that, like, we are not above the consequences of the law. But, you know, they put that all aside because her job is to help him. So, you know, she gets into it, and they are supposed to meet, like, twice a week in order to do that. There was some good points from both sides. Yeah, we'll summarize all this at the end of the recap because there's a lot of like dialogue in this. And it's we get a scene where this Neil guy is getting beat up in the shower. Daredevil comes in to save him basically because, you know, this is what he'd do. And he assures himself that he has kind of a clear conscience. Like, you know what? Like, it doesn't matter what people think. I know I'm here for the right reasons, and I know that like what I'm doing is right. This is my soul. I'm careful. I do what's right, and I'm okay. But yeah, it's kind of a shitty situation still. He's not having a great time. He gets pulled into the office of the lady again a little earlier than he was expected, and it is revealed that Neil, the guy who was like persistently through this issue and looking and just like kind of getting beat up in the shower, has recently taken his own life. And this pushes Daredevil into a fucking fit, like a crisis, just like an existential crisis, because he said, I put him here. It's my fault. And the lady says, like, no, you didn't. It was Spider-Man. He was the one who caught him. And yeah, it's not necessarily true because actually Neil was prosecuted by Matt. So that's an interesting thing to take because it's one thing to be taken in by Daredevil. It's another thing to be prosecuted by him, and that's what this issue's been kind of about. It's about the system of the prisons, not necessarily the heroes that put them there. And Daredevil is a unique case in which he is not only the superhero that catches them, he is also he is the person who lawfully puts them in jail by being a prosecutor. And geez, yeah, it's something I never thought of before. The idea that like Daredevil works on all sides, kind of, in his superhero work, like no other superhero really does.
Yeah, like I mean, you have certain heroes that work for like, you know, Sword or Shield or whatever, right? Like these kind of like agent organizations. Mm-hmm. But it's just different, you know.
Yeah, Matt's the only one who.
No, those aren't real jobs. You know, they aren't.
Yeah, I mean, Matt's the only one who kind of sees them in court and makes the arguments for why people should be in jail and all that stuff. So he's part of this system, whether he thinks he's out of it or not by being Daredevil. He's still part of it in his civilian life. So that's an interesting point to make. The issue ends with him being like, no, he's not okay. And the woman mentioned earlier about therapy for Matt. Like, he should have just done that. He should have just gone to therapy instead of just doing this whole prison sentence. It's just like, go to therapy, talk it out, you know? And that's very important. Therapy is very good. I think that's a good message to spread. I've always liked that idea. It's something that, like, Heroes in Crisis kind of talked about a little bit, is the idea of a therapist or a mental health clinic necessarily for superheroes who have a lot of PTSD.
I guess which is also what made it slightly annoying with Wally, that even with all the help and expression and stuff, he's still bugged out.
Yeah. I mean, I it's not the bugging out that's the problem. It's just that's a whole can of worms. But
yeah, we're not gonna go down that path. Yeah. It was just something extra I thought about that you know.
Yeah.
You know, I love the story, but that was kind of definitely another chink.
Yeah, I mean, there was no real showing of the system in that story of how it even works. Yeah. It looks like they just set up a camera and they just talk to this camera.
Yeah, I guess we were supposed to assume a lot of, other therapy, but it definitely wasn't shown, not as clearly as this was. But Daredevil's a superior comic.
Yeah,
IMO.
I agree. Also before we go, I forgot I kind of like skipped over this moment, but Kingpin is over all of this. He's just like, it's like a cycle at this point. Like after he sees Typhoid Mary, he's like, I'm just over this shit, dude. It's the same thing every time. Is that no matter how strong I get or like how powerful I get in the underworld that I work in, it's just always Daredevil or some fucking other bigger bad that comes in. So, I think we should make a change. This time we're gonna kill Daredevil for sure, both of them. So, yeah, I mean. I guess Kingpin's going to be going on a different road this time, which I'm interested to see. A little bit of innovation.
He's just mad. He's just so mad.
Yeah, he's had a lot.
Now, and he's projecting it all onto Daredevil.
Well, to be fair, he's had a lot going on.
Why is he so mad about Mary? What's going on? Like, what's the...
They have a history, I guess. I mean, they're at least very close friends. And to see her just kind of like in a weird state, it's got to hurt.
But it's like, okay, he's really, really mad because they got invaded by these symbiotes. And it's like, what is killing Daredevil going to do the next time some alien god comes down?
I think it's part of a bigger plan. I think, like, that's just the first
kill
step.
Daredevil.
Yes.
One,
I mean, I don't know.
Like it. Two, start actual plan.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, like, depending on
where
it
goes.
goes.
Mind. It's just, I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, because Kingpin has been going through his little own arc, too. Like, he tried to get out, and now he has to be back in just because the state of how things work.
Like he's regressing.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just all depends on how he regresses and how the story treats this regression. It's not a bad thing to move for a character to move backward to a degree, so long as it feels kind of natural. And Kingpin has always been kind of like on this teetering edge where he wants to get out, but he's like, "Fuck, people keep pulling me back in." But yeah, great issue. I had a great time reading it as always with Daredevil. But that's all I gotta say on it. You guys ready to move on?
Oh, we almost skipped the part where Matt Murdock gets poisoned.
Oh, you're right. I thought that was the last page. It says to be continued. Yeah. Okay. So after he gets after he talks to this lady. And we get a little scene with Elektra where she basically makes a Robin out of this girl. Where she's like, I know you're sad, but I don't have time for your shit. So, if you wanna do some unhealthy therapy type stuff, why don't you meet me in the gym and I'll teach you how to fight ninja style.
Yeah, she does make a solid point where she's like, listen, I know you're blaming yourself, and you feel like you're responsible for killing your stepmom, but check this out. I've really murdered people.
Yeah. I'm really not a good person.
You understand? I have literally stabbed people and done other horrible things. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it. You're mad, but don't blame this on yourself.
Yeah, just meet me in the gym.
Yeah, and the girl kind of was just like, oh, all
right, I guess. I guess. Yeah, and Daredevil is in prison talking with Marcus here, and Marcus is basically like, what's your connection to Neil? Like, ever since he died, you've been weird, so what the fuck's going on? And then Daredevil's like, I kind of look weird because I've just been poisoned, which is a funny way to end it, where it's low-key like, Marcus, I've just been poisoned, and that's where the issue ends for real.
Stupid cat, like,
yeah, it's like a little boo-boo, like, oh, shit. Oh, damn. I had a good, this is a great issue. I had a great time. You know what? It is my VGI, honestly. Let me get to the soundboard.
Certified VGI.
Yeah, I gotta give it to that too.
Yeah, read Daredevil, everyone.
The other two books were really good too.
Yeah,
this is an interesting week.
Yeah, but without further ado, it is time to randomize.
America, fuck yeah!
Wow.
Black Clover. This
Number
is
one.
Oh yeah, the king of manga right now. This is Black Clover, chapter 284, Ultimate Magic. Last we left off, the cavalry arrived at the battle at Spade Kingdom, and we kind of learn what they've been doing this entire time. And last time we saw them was like before this battle even began, where they were hanging out with the elves in Elysia, and we basically they when we left off, they were going to be taught how to use ultimate magic, which is an elves exclusive super strong magic, and we get to explain a little bit more. Dryad, who is, I guess, the spirit of this forest, basically explains like, hey, so, you know, usually I don't help people that aren't elves, but you know what? You guys are cool because demons are coming out, so that would be pretty shitty for us if they got out. So I'll help you. Okay, so basically they explain that this ultimate magic is so fucking strong, like humans can't really use it because it takes too much mana, and humans just generally don't have that much, like, or sufficient amount to make use of ultimate magic. But by making free use of the mana method of the Heart Kingdom, you acquire true magic that uses an enormous amount of natural mana. In other words, you can you have more magic than you have, in a way.
It's like the sage mode where you use natural chakra.
Yes, to a degree. I mean, it's pretty. I'll be honest. It's a little vague where they're like, it feels kind of like, all right, a little too convenient. That just because they learned this true magic shit, all of a sudden they just have more mana than they actually have. That's the sense that really kind of throws me off. It's just like, you have more mana than you can even contain within your body. So, you know, there's a chance you'll be able to artificially use ultimate magic. And after training in this place in the ways of ultimate magic, they made it to the Spade Kingdom. Everybody can use the true magic version of their attributes, including true plant. So so, you know, they all use their technique, and it's kind of cool how they can like use it to a degree where it only hurts the enemies they want. Like a mage could get hit with it, and it could not affect them because it's very targeted and specific to what they were aiming at. It's interesting. So yeah, after they take down these fucking scrubs, these frontline scrubs, there's a new crew of demons that pull up and are like, low-ranking imbeciles scrambling over each other to get out first. And then he turns one of them into a ball, and he's like, let's play catch. And we get a 2-page spread revealing the mid-rank devils. As Dryad points out, low-level devils, if you use a ton of mana, you can like take them down pretty easily, even if you're not arcane stage. But the problem is the devils who are mid-level and higher. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be cool. Maybe each of them will get a battle with these little devils, you know, these mid-ranked devils. And it might be a little harder than you think. But Luck just steps up and is like, oh cool, let me test how strong my powers are. And he...
Oh, and does he?
Yeah, he effectively one-shots all these demons. Pretty easy.
The epically strong mid-ranking.
Yeah, the ones that are going to be
had no chance.
The ones that are quote unquote the problem with using like mana, it might take a little longer, but they get fucked up pretty easy.
Bro, Luck basically hits him with a screw attack.
Yeah.
And Samus is by the way, just bounces over to him. Cuts his arm off before the demon even realized what happened.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
One demon's head gets cut off and it's just a question mark on
it. It's shoulder too, so you don't have to even worry about like the surgery. Well, he's not gonna have to worry about much else in a few moments.
Yeah, because immediately after getting his arm cut off, Luck just proceeds to cut everyone in half or their heads off. He seems to pull one of their heads off. Like, he still has
all decisively.
Yeah. And everybody's like, huh? What?
He ripped one of their heads off. You can see he's actually holding it.
Yeah, he's just holding one of them. And
I guess he liked that one the most.
yeah, that's his
He
favorite.
said, "You're gonna be a trophy."
Yeah, you're my demon trophy. So
Luck.
So Luck,
You're my demon trophy.
so Luck looks up and sees like the whole castle is getting fucked up. And they're like, "What's with the castle? It's burning." "No, freezing?" And Luck, just by the outside, is like, "Oh, inside there's somebody we can't afford to mess with." And
I'm like, really? Come on, Luck. You just cleave through all these mid-ranking. Mid.
yeah, I mean, these guys have probably going to be a little harder, but nothing you can't handle.
Like that much? Is it that? What are they like? What is it like? Low, mid, high, S tier? Is that?
Yeah,
They
I mean,
too
it
low?
looks
Luck?
like it.
I need some clarity here. Come on, Luck.
Yeah, but
It disappoints me.
the last page of this chapter is basically those twin demons just giggling as Noct is impaled on a bunch of ice things.
Oh, you are laughing, you're right.
Yeah, they're like
Okay.
he. I picture they have like long pauses between their he's. Like he.
Very awkward, very condescending.
Yeah, you know what these guys remind me of? They remind me of Desna and Eska from Korra. the twins from the Water Tribe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love for them to inhabit those personalities. But yeah, that was Black Clover. This is the audience voted RGC for the week.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, if you want to vote on the RGC, please follow us on Twitter. You can find us there, and the poll goes up every Sunday. So, you know, Black Clover has been consistently the top for a while. The only time it didn't win is when it wasn't in the magazine last week. So
It also didn't win when One Piece got to chapter 1000.
no, One Piece 1000 lost to,
No,
to Black Clover.
no, remember it was like a universal harmonic convergence RGC.
No, not that one. That one was just no, One Piece 1001 or 2-1, like the harmonic convergence RGC.
Oh, okay.
1000, that I
The
remember.
1000 chapter wasn't that lit. It was mostly set up.
That's why I
From
remember.
what I remember.
That's what I remember. That's why I remember is that like the 1000th chapter of One Piece did not win RGC. I was like, yo, you guys don't care. You guys will stand Black Clover no matter who.
I swear to God, they're doing this out of spite. They listen to the show and then they're just like, yo, let's just keep fucking hitting that Black Clover. Hit Black Clover.
They are
and if
trolling.
Black Clover is
Maybe
an
they are.
option, then yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. But
Maybe they
everyone,
are. Maybe they are
had
fans.
beef with Black Clover.
Hey.
I
Look,
don't have beef with Black Clover.
I know
I have
Yeah,
beef with Black Clover winning RGC every fucking week.
Hey.
Yo, Asta, yeah.
I'll say this. This is the only time I was like, I don't think so. But because the last few weeks have been pretty fun. I have enjoyed it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with Black Clover winning RGC for the last 5 weeks in a row. But-
I'm not convinced. I know there's a faction of our fan base out there that's purposely plotting this.
And I have no issues with Black Clover. I don't want to sound like a mega hater. where
I'm on
we're
to you,
just like,
motherfuckers.
But yeah, I mean, you know, this is a good chapter. Was it RGC? I mean, what do I know? You know,
It was really good. A lot of them were really good, but
yeah. But
it wasn't the really goodest.
yeah, I'm betting
And I
next
know
chapter
that's
would
not
be
a real
better.
word.
It's kind of like a cool like show off, you know, what the protagonists have learned in this time. So I don't hate on it at all. I'm excited to
Luck
see what
is really
happens.
dope too.
Yeah, Luck's cool. Luck's always fun. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about this chapter. It is a big action chapter. I don't really know how I feel about the ultimate magic stuff. It feels like too convenient for me. That all of a sudden they're just able to do it just because they master true magic.
They trained with the elves, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, like, it shouldn't even be possible for them because they're just like humans and they don't have that. But it feels a little convenient that true magic also comes with the bonus of being able to do ultimate magic. So I don't know, but I mean, yeah, that's all I got to say really about Black Clover this week. You guys ready to move on forward?
Yes.
Let us rain on.
He said, "Is this ice, dickhead? Is it cold?"
Is it cold?
The X books, starting with Children of the Atom #1.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So first things first, I guess a little context. This issue is literally 1 year late. It was supposed to come out last March. So, yeah, and so for whatever reason, it got delayed up to this point. That's why everything feels a little early. You know, like it always had this feel of shit was brand new with Krakoa and all that. So it was supposed to come out way earlier. But this is Children of the Atom. I thought this was going to be some future shit where like the kids of Cyclops and all that shit, they're like fighting against maybe Nimrod or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. I had no idea what to expect. I'd never even seen any cover art for this stuff, so.
Yeah. But
when I first seen the cover, I was like, interesting. I mean, 3 people definitely stood out.
Mm-hmm. So this issue picks up with these, I guess, bank robbery of some sort, or this like a robbery of an armored truck, and we meet
female gang.
Yeah, I guess a female gang of people who used to be mutants that no longer have their powers.
Yeah, they got depowered and didn't want to go to Krakoa to get them back.
Yeah, basically. So they are confronted by the Children of the Atom, which are these young mutants. A lot of them are amalgamations, it looks like, of other X-Men that we've seen before. The leader is Cyclops Lass, which is a very clunky name, but I think that's the point. So there's Cyclops Lass, there is Marvel Guy, there's Daycrawler, and I forget what Carmen's superhero name is, but she's basically a Gambit-esque.
Gimmick. Gimmick.
Oh, she's Gimmick.
Instead of Gambit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the Angel Guy, there's an Archangel type person.
Oh, is that what he is?
I think so.
Cherub?
Cherub, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is. I think that's probably a book. Could you look that up, Brian?
I know what a cherub is.
Oh.
A cherub is, you know, like those little baby angels, like cupids and shit. They're cherubs.
Yes.
Which is a weird name for this big, strong man. But
so is that what he is? He's just a power type, and he has wings. Oh yeah, I see the wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little
kind of trash, but what else?
Kind of trash. Okay, so they basically fight these villains, and they win, pretty much. It's a big battle. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but yeah, after doing that, they escape into this alleyway where they're confronted by a few of the X-Men. Sorry, what'd you say, Josh?
Oh my bad. I said Lady Cyclops got punched in her fucking chest real hard. I was like, damn.
Ooh.
All the blood.
Yeah.
I hope she goes to the doctor after this, like, for real.
Yeah. So the
Right to the hospital. Okay, I'm done.
They get found by the X-Men, specifically Strong Guy. I don't know who the other two are really, but it's Strong Guy and I think Pixie's her name. But yeah, they're basically like, "Yo, why didn't you come to Krakoa? You got the call, right?" And basically, the kids have ties at home. You know, like they still have full ass families and, you know, families that seem to love them, so they have no reason to really escape their circumstance to go to Krakoa. So yeah, they got unfinished business basically, and they just kind of turned down the invitation again to go to Krakoa. So yeah, back at the summer house, there's a coalition of X-Men just kind of like discussing what to do about these kids. They're like, yeah, they should be here, right? And Cyclops like, we can't just fucking snatch them from their house. They have to want to come here. And the X-Men are kind of like deciding who should go and kind of talk to them because they do have a tie with them. They do want to come to this island. And they do seem to look up to the X-Men, seeing as how a lot of them are dressed in tribute of their favorite X-Men, it seems. So there's that. So Storm, I guess, is going to go talk to them because she feels the strongest about this. She's the most passionate about the situation. We get a moment of them out of costume, the kids, the children of the Atom. And, you know, we get a little bit of a look at their dynamics. They seem to be mutants, but I don't know if their powers are, like, the same as what their suits are. Like, if she really does have, like, these eye beams or if Gimmick really has a Gambit-type power. I don't know if they have, like, just similar powers to the mutants that they homage themselves after. But, yeah. Basically, their dynamic is that
she doesn't have the laser beam eyes.
Yeah, maybe she can just control it. Maybe she just has the laser beam eyes, but she can choose when to use it and when to not. But anyway, basically, her and Gimmick are best friends. She's Cyclops is obviously the leader. The Gimmick girl is kind of her best friend, and they're both crushing on the same dude, which I think
Gimmick is actually dating Cherub.
Right.
I think that's what she's implying.
Yeah, no, they're dating.
That she feels kind of bad about liking him, but she knows that's
Yeah, but she knows that's her friend's man, so she's not gonna do nothing about it. But it bums her out.
Rough.
Yeah, shitty situation to be in.
Speaking of shitty situations,
there's this kid that comes in. They're watching this basketball game. This kid named Cole comes through. No relation to Josh. He comes in and is like, just starts schooling people on basketball, despite the fact that he's been in a hospital bed for a long amount of time. I think it might be implied that he got the pill, the X-Men that from the Krakoa flowers, and that's why he's good where he's at. But that's my theory. I don't think they really explain how he's back on his feet doing shit.
You're talking about the basketball player, right?
Yeah. Because he was like dying.
We kind of skipped ahead. Yeah, that was kind of interesting that he, they noted that he almost died, and now he's come back and he's way stronger than ever. There's definitely something weird going on.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's good now, but it's weird. So I guess we're gonna get a little bit more about that, as the series goes on. We cut over to that night. Cyclops last packs her shit, and she talks about how her dad is actually a good person, a good dad, loves her, which is kind of not often happening to mutants, where they come from a relatively good home. Her mom died, and there was just basically them two, and he loves them. He loves her no matter what. But I think she thinks that he'd be happy if she went with them, where she belongs with the mutants of Krakoa. So she meets up with the rest of the children of the Atom, and they go over to Coney Island. There's a Krakoan gate right underneath the pier over there, and they all dress up in their Children of the Atom costumes, and they attempt to go through, but Krakoa bars them from passing. And yeah, they were not there for whatever reason, not able to pass through the gates either, which is interesting because neither is Kate Pryde. So
she literally can't even phase through it. She remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, maybe because the gate was against the wall, so she hurt herself.
Yeah. Well, she can't.
Yeah.
Even to this day, she can't really go through the wall. I mean, she can't go through the gate.
Yeah.
I think this issue should have been the reason. I don't know why this was delayed, but I feel like this issue would make a little bit more sense when it was an issue that Kate couldn't come through the.
With Kate, yeah, it would have synergized well. So, all right, Kate still can't use the gates, even though she was revived.
She still can't use the gates.
So that's still a plot thread, and
she can be resurrected now, which is a good thing. But she cannot.
All right, but specifically, is it the case where she literally can the gate is a wall for her?
The way they explain it is
you know what I'm saying, or
I think the way they explain it is
she walking through the gates, and when she hurt herself, it was a wall on the other side. She didn't want to face through the gate, so she turns her powers up.
No, I think she broke her nose on the gate.
That's different from these kids then.
I mean, it comes solid for them. So, when she tries to step through, you could see her foot is it's like a wall to her.
Okay.
Um,
And what? And you said it seems as if Krakoa is just rejecting them. It seems
well,
like they're just walking through it.
in Kate's case, it was her power. It had something to do with her powers. That just the very nature of her abilities kind of stopped her from passing through.
Huh.
It's just her powers work weird with the gates of Krakoa itself, from what I remember and understand from it. These kids are something else, though, because, you know, they don't have, like, the same type of abilities. And it made me, this whole issue, I was actually kind of confused, because these are all brand new characters to this era. So none of these really have a prior history. And it's kind of confusing because as I was reading, I was like, do these kids even really have powers for real?
Right? Like, there's not... Like when we're talking about Lady Cyclops, like you said, there's no noticeable beams or her eyes. Sure, maybe she can control it, or the nature of her ability is different, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, these kids
we
seem
didn't
to
see any other evidence.
Yeah, they seem to think they're mutants, but they might not even be mutants because there's no.
I mean,
we don't have a visual of them using their powers outside of their uniforms. You know.
True that they didn't use it outside their uniforms. The actual X-Men said that Cerebro couldn't find them or locate them, or they don't register as mutants for some reason. I don't know if she used that last term specifically, not registering as mutants, because in their minds, like like Jean Grey and Cyclops and all of them, they have this assumption that they are mutants. Just something weird is going.
Yeah, what they said was that like Cerebro, they're blocked from Cerebro for some reason. Which is interesting as well, because I think they assume that one of them is a telepath and someone is blocking them, or they're blocking themselves purposefully. So yeah, it's a little confusing how this works. I feel like we got the bright side of this issue is that we got a good sense of who these characters are. I feel like it's structurally a good introductory issue to who these kids are and why they feel the way they feel. I think there's just maybe it's purposefully written vague because the point of them not being able to go through the gates is a point of mystery for the series.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm really, really, interested in the story going forward. But I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if you had a thought you wanted to finish.
No, go for it.
In a lot of the comment sections of the video I watched, people weren't really like into this. They were saying that the writing and the pacing of this was really sporadic and that the fight scene was really horrible. And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest. I think people are mad that this isn't turning out to be something that they imagined it would be. See, I didn't understand that part because, like you said, you looked at the cover and thought that, this might be like a future thing or a protege type of situation.
Right.
Like maybe their children. But I think a lot of people are mad that it's like a teenage book and you had a girl standing up to a dude because, like we've seen with a lot of these other issues, they really, and what X-Men has always been about, period, was relating real life issues to, the mutant situation. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are acting like that. And I'm going to tell you this, just because people are reading Jonathan Hickman and these X books doesn't mean that they're socially aware or socially intelligent enough to understand the history and the nuances of bigotry in this country, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I see it in people's comments. Like, I didn't want to say any in particular. I mean, it's not like I took a screenshot, nor can I remember it word for word, but people, just the language they were using, like without giving real detail as to what the actual problem was. Mm-hmm. And I was really disappointed to hear one of the YouTube channels that I really look to for a lot of information with the X-Men history. He had a really negative response, and he wasn't as like nasty as some people were in the comments, but this is the first time I just wholeheartedly disagreed. Mm-hmm. And I thought this was a really cool comic. I thought it was the first chapter, and everything that was done was to try to show, I don't know, people were saying it looks like they changed the story up.
I mean,
like certain parts.
It's interesting because this is a delayed story. I also agree. I think this is like a good comic. Like structurally, it's a good first issue. even though it feels a little vague at times, I felt like it was good. You know, I feel like it has a point, and I'm interested to see where it's going. But it is maybe a delayed. Maybe they did change some things, but I doubt that it was going to be this future thing, and then they changed it. I think this was what the story was supposed to be the whole time.
I don't know what people thought it was. You, like I said, you were the first person that introduced me to the idea that it would have been maybe a futuristic situation.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see.
They're just mad. They're just angry, and I really think that had a lot to do with
comic
the
books.
fact that it's teenagers that are standing up for themselves.
Comic nerds being angry is pretty regular.
Yeah,
pretty regular occurrence.
I just thought the X-Men readers would be a lot more like, I don't know. I don't want to use the word woke, just less ignorant.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But it is what it is.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully it's not just like it's a girl leading a team and being, you know, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, maybe they were just kind of disappointed in this issue, and I can see why, I guess. Like, it's not like the greatest comic ever, so, you know, it's not infallible. So if you have issues with it, but it's not.
Oh.
It's not. It didn't blow me away, but it was also like, this is a good comic. I have no issues with it. I had a good time reading it.
Yeah, the two things I heard the most was they said the fight scene was weird, but for multiple different vague reasons, and the other thing was they said the scene with the kid playing basketball, which this is the part that got me upset the most, and it's like they said it seems like they had something to do with that, and then completely threw it away. And I'm just like, guys, they're building plot points. Like, that's something that's going to be looked into later on. Like, are you guys serious right now?
Yeah, I will.
The pacing was just weird. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
the first fucking issue.
I will agree that the action scene was a little weird for me. Like layout wise, it wasn't crazy, but it wasn't bad. I don't know. I think people are overreacting if they really do hate. I think this is like a solid, good comic. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't like amazing. It was good. And you know what? That's pretty good in terms of X-Men comics, because we're following all of them. So I'd rather them be good. But in any case, we do have another X book to get through. So let's get into X Factor number 8. Man. Last we left off with this one, it took a weird turn. Siren's been acting funny. So the X Factor team is investigating because she seems to continuously be dying, not suicide mode, and specifically falling off shit, despite the fact she can fly. So that's suspicious. And they've been looking into it, and it turns out that she has been possessed by the goddess of death known as the Morrigan. And she has just been going around causing trouble. We don't know what her deal is exactly yet, but she's been doing all this nefarious shit, and the X Factor has been investigating her. Last we left off, most of the X Factor team has been murdered by the Morrigan, and we start off this issue kind of learning how that came to be. First of all, it turned North Star and Aurora were hanging out together, you know, watching TV. Amazing Baby, their werewolf pet, which I'm finding more adorable by the issue. He starts going crazy because he kind of senses that the Morrigan's around to a degree. Like, he is not having a good time. So, but Rachel doesn't really know what's going on, so she kind of like tries to take him out to go pee or whatever. And on her way out, she runs into iBoy, who is just standing there like looking at shit, because his powers allow him to see things at multiple frequencies, whether it's ultraviolet.
Yeah. He's just standing there T-pose like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Whoa. First of all, I will say this issue made iBoy like incredibly I love how they're utilizing him, because
it's hyper realistic.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I look at it.
Because when you iBoy was a lot like kind of like gag character to this point, where now he has a real application for his power.
Yeah.
But yeah, he decides to take Amazing Baby with him, and because he's going crazy, and he knows what Amazing Baby is seeing because he can see it too. Meanwhile, Prodigy is investigating the photo that he received that proved that he wasn't killed when he thought he was killed. And then, for whatever reason, the fucking JPEG image of him making out with his boyfriend at this club where he was supposed to be murdered just bugs out, and there's a scary fucking face that just emerges out there, scares the shit out of him. But then he realizes that there are layers to this JPEG that kind of are, is like metadata and shit designed to fool them into thinking that this was his alibi when he thought he died. So there's more to Prodigy's death than we initially thought. Someone is, for whatever reason, trying to keep Prodigy from understanding when and how he died. So we cut to this like little dreamscape. Dakin has a nightmare because he has severe PTSD from nearly thinking he was abandoned and killed. So he wakes up after like sensing basically Eye-Boy's fear. Because Dakin could do that. He can just like sense your pheromones and all that stuff. So Eye-Boy is just going crazy because all he can see is the Morrigan. And he's just like, fuck, leave me alone. And Dakin picks him up and he's like, yo, are you all right? Can you stop? Because your fucking fear is giving me bad dreams and shit. And Eye-Boy is like, oh, thank God you're here. And right behind Dakin is the fucking Morrigan. Just like, all right, I'm done playing. And she just
materializes.
Yeah, she becomes like, she's like Pennywise, where she's like, all right, I'm done playing. I'm a big spider monster thing now. And yeah, she like expands inside the boneyard. Dakin and Eye-Boy take off, and they hide behind this wall, just hiding from the Morrigan. And this is basically where the last issue left off, where they're like, Rachel's dead, Aurora and Northstar are dead as well. So they wait for the Morrigan to kind of pass so they can go back into the room, and Eye-Boy can just examine their bodies using all of his eyes. And boyo, this big splash page where we kind of see things through Eye-Boy's many eyes. Yeah, there's no obvious signs of assault. There's little traces of siren around.
Okay.
Yeah, they pretty much like do some investigating, and Eye-Boy starts to freak out because like, yeah, we got to get out of here, because if we die here, then all of our memories of this very moment, where like all the data that we've picked up is unlikely to be transferred into us when we're resurrected. So we got to get out of here. And Dakin's like, I'll sacrifice myself so you guys could get out, because they could be resurrected anyway.
Listen, I'm a big dummy. I ain't gonna remember none of these details anyway.
I'm the strongest one in this trio, so I'ma just go. I'll sacrifice myself. And Dakin gets absolutely destroyed by the Morrigan, while Prodigy. Yeah, it's not good. It's real sad. It's real sad because he looked so sad when he died too. But yeah, his sacrifice allows for Prodigy and Eye-Boy to escape. And the very next day, they're resurrected because they're pretty high up on the queue, being X Factor. So, they're all resurrected, and Eye-Boy basically briefs them. Apparently there's a zombie situation in the boneyard.
Yeah, the Morrigan is bringing back, is reanimating the dead bodies in the boneyard.
Yeah, so
pretty crazy.
So basically, the X Factor just kind of formulates a plan to kind of get rid of the Morrigan. And after a certain point, like, they do their thing. It's pretty cool. They manage to pull Siren out of the Morrigan center, using the combined powers of Rachel and Polaris. And I guess it's not over yet. The next issue is going to be the last part, where this issue closes out, where they're like, all right, now you have to tell us about this new bargain you've struck with the Morrigan. And that's where the issue ends. Yeah, this is fun. I really did enjoy reading this. I'm getting warmed up to X Factor more and more. I think there's like a sufficient mystery there. I wonder who's trying to keep Prodigy in the dark like that. It's definitely weird.
Yeah, that's a huge mystery for sure.
Mm-hmm. But
And there's a lot of implications there, I think.
yeah, a good crop of X books this week. I got no issues there.
No, two really solid books, in my opinion.
Agreed. You guys ready to move on?
Yes, now to finish up with manga.
Let's go!
I hope he turns his sword into some guns.
My Hero Academia. All right, we got a big boy this week. This was a pretty epic issue. A lot to deconstruct here and unpack. So let's get right into it. We pick up with All Might just kind of like sensing that he's talking to the other visages of the One for All, and we get a 2-page spread showing Midoriya in his like weird smoke form in a room surrounded by the previous users of One for All. However, it's different because there are 2 previous users that are just facing the wall for some reason. I'd like to think it's because those are the only 2 powers that Midoriya has yet to unlock. So they're not allowed to really speak in this world.
Well, he didn't unlock Collar Boy's powers yet.
I would like to think that Collar Boy's powers are like right there, like he's this close to them, and that's why he's able to see him there.
There's a couple of theories of like who those 2 are, but we'll get to that at the end of the chapter.
Yeah, we'll do everything at the end. We just have to get through it because this is a very dialogue heavy chapter. So what we understand is that all the predecessors are there, and they explain that ever since their battle with All for One earlier, when All for One tried to pull them out by sheer force, it allowed them to appear before Deku a little easier than they used to be able to. Deku's even able to talk to a degree in this universe, which is pretty cool. And he's like, "What did you need to tell me?" And the 4th user of the One for All gets up and explains himself. He is the 4th user named Hikage Shinomori. He's the Danger Sense quirk user. And he is the only One for All recipient who has died of old age. However, he died at 40, which is not old age necessarily to die at. So that's basically what was put down in his autopsy, because there's no other cause of death. For 18 years, he was training with One for All, and in his final years, these cracks appeared. So these scars across his face, they just appeared. They're not part of his like aesthetic at all. They're a side effect of All for One. Oh, One for All. Sorry, I get them mixed up a lot.
Does it when you get All for One? Oh no, One for All.
See?
When you get One for All, when you get All for Jesus Christ,
One for All.
When you get One for All, does it automatically amplify the quirk of the user, or is that only when it's passed on?
No, I don't think it amplifies any particular quirk. It's just an add-on to your, like whatever came before is just added on to your quirk, whatever that is.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't make your quirk any stronger or weaker. It just gives you more powers. So basically,
I thought it was like a thing where it's like all the quirks get stronger when they're passed on.
Maybe
because Banjo mentioned that when he first got Black Whip, he mentioned that it's even stronger than it was when Banjo had it because of One for All. So I think maybe that's like a result of like his quirk being like a lot more powerful. Like that's why he has those marks on his face, is because of the danger sense.
Well,
it looks like kind of like the lightning thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, they don't explicitly say that. I think the cracks just kind of appear on his body, and he didn't know why. He died not really knowing what it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people say that, like, and here's the thing with this chapter, it's a lot of conjecture on behalf of the characters telling this story. So these guys don't even really know any certainties of anything. So,
yeah, they're trying to figure it out themselves.
Yeah.
Is this person on fire?
Who? All Might?
That's All Might.
Yeah, that's All Might.
He hasn't fully like joined the Visage world yet. So yeah, that's just his consciousness.
All right.
Yeah.
I was hoping that, like, you know, he was
one piece at a time, guys.
Guy. I was like, come on, man.
Because that's also part of this. Okay, so basically, they think it's a disease. He died not really knowing what it was, and his autopsy, when All Might dug up his history and autopsy report, they say he died of old age because possessing multiple quirks effectively ate away at his life. And yeah, basically he's like, oh, this is where Brian, your thing comes in, where he says One for All only grew stronger after your time. And All Might managed to hang on to it way longer than anybody. Like, he's way past the point where Shinomori died. So, you know, the only differentiating factor between them is that All Might's the first person to get One for All without having a prior quirk. So the theory is basically, because all these other people already had quirks, using this motif of this chalice, and One for All being the liquid inside the chalice, because he had an empty vessel, so to speak, it was way easier for him to maintain the powers within him, as opposed to the others who already had, say, a half-full chalice, and they just got it more overflowed over time, because they already had something in there. So, because All Might was the sole exception, he's the only one who put in a true piece of his consciousness, as opposed to the Visages being basically the quirks that are also packaged with a little bit of the consciousnesses of the previous users. Because it's been stated before that a person's quirk is essentially also their personality. Everything about their mind is also imbued within the quirk. And that's why these guys appear within One for All. And because Yagi being All Might didn't have a quirk, his contribution to this power is his full consciousness, like a real piece of his mind that isn't tied to a quirk. So I guess that makes it a little more valuable than their quirk bonus their personality to a degree. It's kind of weird
because it's
huh? Who's Yagi?
That's All Might.
Yagi is All Might.
So basically what they're saying is that All Might is the first person to actually make One for All his quirk. It's not like a quirk. He's passing down his very own quirk because he made it his own, being that he's quirkless.
Mm-hmm. And because All Might was able to use One for All so fucking efficiently, the theory is that One for All works better when it's somebody who doesn't have power to begin with that can use its true value, as opposed to the others who died pretty early despite having it, you know? So they explain that they can't pass this on to a normal person, being that quirkless individuals are pretty rare in society these days because more and more people are born with quirks than ever. And the chances of you finding someone who's going to need that power down the line is highly unlikely. And it's funny because, like, All Might was not intending to give this power to Deku at all. He only, by crazy chance, found the one quirkless boy who wanted to be a hero.
Yeah, but it's not even just like yeah, you could find a quirkless like person, but like even if you do, like, Deku is a very rare occurrence because there's not very many quirkless people who want to be heroes in the first place.
The challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so there's that
ironic
too.
Because you think they'd want that so that they can have a quirk and not be like this kind of different, like this just non-quirkless like person, but they live very humble lives and they seem very content, and I think that's realistic. I mean, being a hero sounds super duper cool to have powers, but really putting your life on the line every day.
It's also like it's not just that you could find somebody who wants to be a hero, but they also have to be kind of worthy of the power. Like, Deku checks all the boxes in terms of a successor for All for One, or One for All. like to find somebody like Deku again is even smaller chances, you know, like to fit the exact specifications of what a inheritor of One for All should be. It's it's pretty high chance. But yeah, so the idea is that Deku might in fact be the last wielder of One for All ever. The power might die with him. They don't say definitely though. So
yeah, but simply because of how this quirk society has been progressing.
Yeah. So
mostly circumstantial.
Mm-hmm. So
guys, you want to finish the chapter?
Yeah, real fast. The chapter ends with Deku looking down like, shit, I could be the last one. And the chapter ends with what's her name? I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the float quirk lady.
Lady Superman?
Yeah, Lady Superman.
No, I forgot her name too.
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't know why I'm blanking. She's very important and she's come up a lot.
Yeah, she's really important. Come on, we all know who she is.
Yeah, we know who she is. The float quirk lady.
Nana Shimura.
Thank you, Nana Shimura. She speaks up and she's like, now tell me, can you kill Tomura Shigaraki? Because they really have to...
Would you be able to murder my grandson?
Yeah, can you please kill my grandson?
Well, to be fair, this is where, you know, they could play on words and be like, I'm going to kill Tomura Shigaraki and bring back whatever his name was before he became Shigaraki, you know? Because he had a name before that.
Yeah, this is not his real name.
Yeah, so
Shigaraki's a good guy at the end. We know this.
So to kill his villainous side and bring back a good side or some shit. I could see My Hero Academia doing some corny shit like that.
So, just to be clear, as far as the quirk passing along, right, and them using the cups as an example, the gist of it is, Yagi All Might not having any power. It was him as a vessel is able to absorb all of the power of One for All, more so than the other people that had quirks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was important that it passed on to people with quirks, so that eventually it would get to this point where, you know, you could use everyone's quirk, but All Might was never able to use the other predecessors' quirks, right? He was just super strong.
No. Yeah, I think his body, it was mainly his body was just very capable of handling all the stress that stockpiled strength allowed. So he got the full, like, access to the stockpile strength. Essentially,
but not the actual quirk.
But not everything else. Deku's the first one to inherit. Yeah, Deku's the first one.
Because Yagi passed it and was able to develop it to that point.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's not like they've been doing it wrong. It's just that it worked out well.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly.
Kind of another circumstance, which is okay. Them saying that this wasn't destiny or it didn't work out perfect. Like they are kind of saying like, it happened to work out that way. But to me, this is more of like a reward. For them choosing like vessels, even though they didn't have quirks, but they, you know what I don't know. It's like kind of like,
I mean,
it's like reassuring that like you guys made the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, it's a group.
We're thinking about Muriel, like, oh man, with his quirk and the strength, it would have been unstoppable. But now
it's funny.
He dodged the bullet.
Yeah, I literally thought that. It's like, wow, yeah, he could have died at 40 or something. Yeesh. And yeah, I mean, it is just a group of people just like wondering, because like it's funny to know that this power is a mystery even to the people who've had it. And it does make a point. You know, a lot of the predecessors died in combat. Shinomura is the only one to have had the power throughout his life and not die in combat. And he just died of what was perceived to be old age.
Yeah.
So
it just all makes sense. It all makes sense.
There's a great, strange variables effect to this, where there's a lot of variables and a lot to think about when it comes to the power of One for All.
It makes it a lot more interesting than just this is the Avatar's cycle. This is how, you know what I'm saying? No riff on that. I love that. We all love Avatar. I'm just saying it was a nice distinction.
It also gives the series a sense of. It gives the series a sense of urgency, because now it's like, we have to take care of One for All for One here.
Yes, it makes it much more fragile. They're really trying to keep a flame like this flickering light. You know what I'm saying? This spark that's just
By the way,
You
RGC.
know, once it goes out, that's it.
Yeah. All right, Brian.
Certified
RGC.
RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
I think with this newfound knowledge, it is also my RGC.
Wow.
It was going to be One Piece initially, but I'll give it to My Hero Academia. I think it was really cool. I didn't understand, but now after understanding, I really appreciate this chapter.
Yeah, I had to read this chapter like 3 times
too.
to really understand what was going on here.
Yeah, I didn't want to miss anything. It is a lot of information at once. Brian, you said that there was a theory.
Oh yeah, baby! I've been waiting. Oh my god, I've been waiting so long to say this theory. So I've been watching a lot of videos about theories about the second and third user and shit, and it was already mentioned. Like this theory was already a thing before this chapter, but now it's kind of resurfaced with these 2 users being facing a wall and not showing their face. So people are like, could it be? So the theory is that the second and third user, the ones facing the wall, are Bakugo and Kirishima.
What?
So the theory, it's called the Bakugo time traveler theory. So essentially, the theory is that in the future, Eri sends Bakugo back in time using that quirk enhancement drug. What is it called? Fucking you guys know what that quirk enhancement drug is called?
Kirishima fought against the dude that was using it.
So they sent Bakugo back in time because he was getting hunted by fucking Shigaraki or some shit because he took One for All. And they sent him back in time so that he can be the second user and tell the first user how to that his quirk can be transferred. Because how else would he know that he could transfer his quirk, right? So they sent him back in time. Huh?
Wait, the second guy? He would know because the first guy passed it to him.
Yeah.
No. Like the first user is the All for One's brother, right?
Yeah.
So he got the stockpile quirk, but how is he gonna know that he can transfer on his quirk, right? Like how is he gonna know how to transfer his quirk without anybody telling him?
Sheesh.
You're talking about the second guy? Because the first
Bakugo is the second guy. The first one is All for One's brother, but he doesn't know that he has the quirk to pass on quirks, right?
To pass on. I don't know.
So how is he? Who tells him that? Somebody who knows about One for All, Bakugo, who goes back in time.
Look like Bakugo.
Yeah, it doesn't help that their costumes kind of look like theirs.
I don't know about Kirishima though.
Oh wait, no, but the Kirishima one is crazier because so Bakugo is like in the time period, Bakugo doesn't know anybody and he doesn't know who to pass on the quirk to. So he sends a fucking message to the future through One for All for them to send Kirishima back in time so that he could become the third user. But here's a twist. It gets even deeper. Kirishima passes on his quirk before he dies, but he doesn't die. You know what happens? He becomes Gigantomachia. They keep him and they experiment on him until he becomes Gigantomachia.
Yeah, I mean, Gigantomachia does have multiple quirks.
He does look like him.
Oh my god.
I think that's us. Only because the dude looks like Bakugo. So
yeah, I mean, I want to say
it
it's crazy, but there's enough pieces that I'm like, I can see it.
I think it makes sense, but it's also
look at Gigantomachia's jaw. It looks like
I know, man. I know.
Kirishima's hardened.
That's the only reason I'm entertaining this shit.
And also, Gigantomachia visits Kirishima when he's younger, too.
He didn't visit Kirishima. He was looking for All for One. He was looking for All for One, and he happened to cross his path. He wasn't looking for Kirishima. people got to relax there. This is wild. I don't want to say no because in crazy ways I'm like, damn. It doesn't help their case that the fucking Bakugo, this guy looks.
It literally looks like Bakugo. I'm sorry, that's not Kirishima.
I don't know if that's
his hair isn't that color.
Yeah, I don't know if that's Kirishima.
It's usually like that shaded. I mean, obviously it's black or gray or white, but it's usually dark. He has red hair, so they make that dark, right?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I don't think.
So maybe it's not Kirishima, but it could be the Bakugo time traveler theory.
That's one hell of a theory, but that's sad enough.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty wild.
When I was watching these theories, I was like, man, if this actually happens, this will be the most ridiculous shit. The craziest 180 I've ever seen in a series.
I really hope that's not the case. Literally for the fact that I don't want to be spoiled. I'd rather not be surprised, but I don't think that's the case. But it was
I don't want to believe it, but goddamn, does that look like Bakugo's hair? But goddamn, does that look like Bakugo from the back?
I'm also gonna go on this basically on the fact that it's not really how Aries' powers work, as far as it's been explained. Like, she doesn't do time travel; she regresses a person's state in general. Like, she doesn't send people.
But then how are they able to make those? I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole.
But there is a chance that with Trigger that she could evolve her quirk. Like that's her like awakened quirk is that she can send people back in time.
I mean,
that could be the case. I just don't think that's gonna be.
It's too crazy.
So
it's too
what
crazy.
a waste of time.
I'm making an executive decision. It's too crazy of a theory. I can't.
I mean, what they're saying, basically, it's been like a thing where Deku and Bakugo have been parallels, right? They both want to like surpass All Might. They both want to be the best hero, but they can both be one for all. They're both worthy of it, and they'll both become it.
I don't want to believe it. I can't. It's too crazy. I think it's too crazy for the scope of the story. It's not a bad theory, though. I think it's interesting.
Not a bad theory. It's really interesting, and I think it's sharp, if nothing else, because of the attention to detail.
I'll say this.
Also, Deku has been copying Bakugo's movement style with full cowl, too. So if there's anybody other than Bakugo that can use explosion, it's Deku. Because he studied Bakugo all of his life.
I guess.
I can't.
Explosion is basically Deku's quirk as well.
I can't. I'm sorry. Because that means he just passed it down to people who are gonna just like perish. Like, you know, like if he's the second user, then that means
he dies too.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
He dies in combat too, dying the way Bakugo would die, swinging.
I can't do it. I can't commit. It's too wild. It's too wild. I'm not gonna say it's absolutely crazy. I'm not gonna say that it's like impossible. But I can't believe it. It's too. It's too tinfoil hatty. You know, like, where it's too much of a deep dive. Like, I feel like the person who came up with it is like that meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Charlie is just like,
yeah, with the fucking pictures on the
back.
wall.
But
I love this theory. I hope it does. I'm not gonna say I hope it doesn't happen because I think it would still be interesting if it does. But I think it would be really fucking weird if it did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it, but I think we gotta move on here.
Yeah,
great chapter. A lot to think about, I guess, now. Like, even more than I thought I had to think about. Now I have to think about more stuff. But without further ado, let's randomize. Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck chapter 54, Hope. Color page for Undead Unluck, which is very cool. The chapter opens with Juice, right? That's her name. Unjustice coming up. Juice? Juice or Juice?
Juice.
Yeah, I guess I'm calling her Juice.
Apple juice.
Apple juice.
All right. Anyway.
She approaches Billy, and Billy tells his boy to fall back because they're about to have a conversation. And it turns out like he's just been chilling because the UMA known as Winter has been just hanging out in this Arctic place, which makes sense, on brand for Winter. And he brought Burn so Burn can fight Winter. So yeah, basically, he's like, hey, I think they basically try to talk about this deal where Juice is like, hey, you want to join forces again? And Billy's like, why? And he's like, hey, we have the same goals. We all want to kill God here. And the reward is absolutely essential to you and me because all the artifacts gained as rewards are weapons crafted by God to defeat God. And yeah, this is news to Billy. He's like, what? Why didn't you tell us this earlier? So she basically explains that like the only reason she didn't reveal that information is because it was only information she could gather by writing the arc, and she's keeping that shit a secret. She's not sharing it with nobody. So, she kept it under her hat. And she's basically like, hey, look, so the arc is almost out of energy. This is kind of it may be capable of one last trip, but that's not guaranteed. The next time we lose for good. And yeah, Billy's like, so only one person can ride the arc. Yeah, and you're not lying. I swear upon all that is just. And I'm like, I don't know, is just your mom's? You gonna swear on your mom's? But yeah, she
swears on all that's just, and I guess that's the equivalent.
Swear to God. She basically like, I could give you the arc, but you'd never be able to reach the stage on your first try, which is, I'm like, okay, Juice. You gonna say that to me?
It's true. Like they're gonna have people that's not gonna. It's just less information.
Yeah,
makes sense.
And yeah, she basically explains like, he's like, why didn't you tell us? And he's like, there was just one person who knew. However, they tried to take my life, and it was Victor, because he tried to stop the loop by force because he doesn't want her to just keep repeating this shitty life. So yeah, basically she's like, Billy, we need to work together. You might be more qualified to go to the next loop, but this current loop is valuable because we have someone with the power to kill God, who is Unluck. That girl is our hope. So, wow, pretty cool. But Billy's like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to team up with you. And he causes Burn to take his big monster form. And, yeah, Juiz reveals that she's been having Spoil on her this entire time. So she summons Spoil. And I guess it's going to be Burn versus Spoil versus Juiz versus Billy.
Should be interesting. I like how they use these Umas. Yeah. I didn't know that they could condense them into a ball form.
Spoil, so, like, I choose you.
Right? It is mad cool because Spoil's with the shit. He's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck what's going on. I'm ready to.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm with it. I'm with it, Jews. I'm with it, Juiz.
I'm with it.
It's like, I got no hard feelings.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
So, yeah, that's where the chapter leaves off. Undead Unluck was fun. I mean, I guess like they got to battle it out for Winter now, basically, and whoever wins is gonna move forward to the next stage, which is, I guess, killing God. They still got to take down Spring, and there's a fourth one.
Summer.
Summer.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Summer.
Summer.
Spring.
They took down Autumn. They're at Winter. Spring is in Shanghai or something. So Summer.
I think no, Summer's in Shanghai. I think Spring is going to be the final one.
Oh, I thought
Spring's the only one they haven't shown yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that was Undead Unluck. Fun chapter. I can't wait to see Burn and Spoil go off.
It's going to be a fun fight.
Yeah, but without further ado, let us randomize. Jujutsu Kaisen.
JJK.
Yeah. Chapter 141, The Front of the Back.
Oh, I forgot about how good this chapter was.
Oh, yeah. This is my RGC, first of all.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Play the
Certified
sound.
Over one.
RGC. Certified
I mean, what can I say?
Certified RGC.
JJK has been pretty fucking awesome.
This guy's fucking art when it's action sequences is so fucking good. It just unmatched. It's unmatched.
So okay, we pick up kind of immediately where we last left off. Itadori is still fighting off against Okotsu. He's just like, I gotta do something about that katana. So he just like runs off. He does this cool Dukes of Hazzard slide through the window shit, through this SUV or whatever, this Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
But on his way sliding through this car, he peeps a knife, and he just, I guess, snatches that real fast.
Yeah, out the fucking car. And then I like how they try to explain it. Well, not even try, they do. They explain it well, and it's like, a four-wheeler type vehicle that would be trekking in the woods, a survival type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have a knife in there, and I was just like, okay, whatever.
I'll let it drop. Because
Everything's got to be explained.
Like, it's okay.
I swear to God, the editor, whoever his editor is just like, where did that knife come from?
I'm sure there's a receipt in there. Maybe Home Depot?
Where did this Jeep owner get this knife? Man.
I wonder what car retailer he bought that car from.
You can explain where that car came from?
I'll learn more about this guy. Let me get that license plate.
Yeah. Okay, so Itadori now has this knife, and he's gonna face off with Okotsu with it. He remembers back when Gojo tried to teach him how to imbue the knife with cursed energy, but he never really got a lot of training out of it. He hasn't learned it nearly as efficiently as Okotsu can use. Okotsu's like, you're too focused on my katana, and just kicks his gut really hard. Comes down with it, and Okotsu just cuts through his knife and Itadori at the same time. Itadori's just like,
Oh, my belly.
Ouch. But you know what? He doesn't waste a minute because he just like stomps on the katana and breaks it. And Okotsu's like,
no, not Okotsu's katana, dude. No.
The special curse katana.
yeah, and he's not that vexed about it. He's like, wow, it really broke. All right, this was never going to be easy. So Itadori's like, all right, cool. So now we're both unarmed. I'm just going to fucking square up now. But then his hand comes right around his face. And guess who it is? It's fucking Rika.
Chan.
The champ is here!
Yeah.
Rika Chan.
Dog, she really comes through and she's like, what's going on here? Where you going? What you doing? Where you going?
What you do? Where you going? Where you doing?
Like when you see your dog running around and you hold on to, where you going? What you doing?
Like that Kevin Hart bit where he was talking about like the guy who was fighting with his belly. He was like, where you going? Where you doing? Where you going?
Yeah. Kept that Kevin Hart shit.
Yeah, she just comes out like, what's going on here? Like about to snap Itadori's neck, it looks like. And Itadori's like, fuck, what? And for whatever reason, Okotsu holds him back. He's like, we're just playing, Rika. And Itadori does not know what's fucking happening. He's like, Rika? Is this a Shikigami? What the fuck? And he said, hold him for me. And Itadori just drives his broken sword through Itadori's chest. And Itadori's like, fuck, I'm dead. He says, sorry, Itadori. But inside, Sukuna notices, he's like, oh, shit, wait. And then he just gives a big old smile. And
I wonder why.
And I'm like, fucking Sukuna, man. He's just going to do some... He's going to do some shiesty shit, too.
Yeah.
This is his thing, dude. Meanwhile, back at the battle with Choso, he's fighting against Naoya. Naoya can do the cursed technique that flattens people and stuff. That's pretty cool.
It's similar to the other dude, right? His dad.
Yeah, that seems to be like a family technique.
Oh, what do you call that in Naruto? Senjutsu? No.
Kekkei Genkai.
Kekkei Genkai, yeah.
I just watched that episode with Haku where they were like, it's Kekkei Genkai.
passed down through his bloodline. It's kind of cool. I like that. I like the legacy stuff.
I can't wait to see how it looks like animated, because like you flatten someone into a picture and then he just like fucking punches him right in the
He's
front.
turning him into a frame. Like, it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. And Choso's like, shit. I have no idea.
You know what I think? I think it's gonna be like he's freezing him, and he's not really moving fast. He's just freezing him, and then when he punches them, that's when he releases them from the freeze.
Yeah, maybe that makes sense. Like the frame.
Yeah,
shit
or he's breaking the frame because he's hitting him so hard or something.
Yeah, that's after the fact.
Yeah, he's using his speed to basically set up his curse technique that gives him a free hit.
I would say that's more likely. Is that like he's fast, and that allows him to like use that technique easier.
Yeah, they work hand in hand. Like, it's already bad enough that he's fast, but then it just, like I said, it's like it gives you just a free punish.
Mm-hmm.
When you get that. That's an OP move right there, man.
Yeah, basically.
Man, cursed energy is so fucking cool. It's so flexible. There's so many different things you could do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like chakra or like bleach and stuff. It's nice. That's what's so cool about Jujutsu Kaisen. It doesn't put itself in a box.
Yeah, it has a good power system.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically he's like, fuck, never mind this shit. And now he's like, wow, you're tough. Seriously, who are you? And Choso says, I'm the oldest of 10 siblings, as he activates what looks like his ultimate technique, flowing red scale stack.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I said a few things to Chris earlier in the week about Choso that I'm not too fond of him. I wasn't too fond of him as a character, simply because I didn't feel like there was a lot of potential with him for growth, and I'm big on that. I'm big on seeing characters grow. That's why I like, like the younger characters and when they, and the side characters, and see how they progress as well. But at the same time, he's a really, really cool character. I don't care. He has a cool ability. I don't care if he doesn't get more powerful, whatever. And when he eventually dies, because come on, he's gonna get smoked at some point. Maybe not by Naoya, but
someone's gonna do it.
It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad. I'm gonna be hurt when that happens.
Not the oldest.
He's a real nigga, man.
Siblings.
For the second time, he responded to him like, "Dog, this is who I am. I'm a big brother.
Yeah.
How many times I gotta let you know that I won't fail?"
Yeah, I think part of why, I felt like I'm on the same boat with Josh. I think the reason he's a cool character now is because he's had some time to kind of develop. He's been around for a long time, and as the series progressed, we got to see a little bit more of him. He started off as this kind of just henchman and just grew into a very cool character to a degree, with a lot of mystery behind him, because he keeps mentioning the sibling stuff. We've only seen 2 of them. He says he's the oldest of 10, so that doesn't throw out the possibility that Itadori might be one of the siblings. And I think what the implication is, and the theory is that this guy, Choso, and all the other curses that are related to him, or I guess theoretically related to him, according to him, are all born of whatever curse is now inhabiting the body of Geto. So it's very interesting, to say the least, because we have no concept of what that would mean. But
yeah.
In any case, yeah, great chapter. I'm loving Jujutsu Kaisen.
It was a solid ass chapter. Why? I guess My Hero Academia was
My Hero Academia
edges it a little bit
crazy.
I have a theory that next chapter, like, Sukuna is gonna come out. He's lost already. Like, has Sukuna ever lost when he came out?
No. Oh, only
so
to Gojo.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I think the next chapter, I think this is gonna be the first time Sukuna gets an L. If he comes out to Okotsu, I really do think he's gonna get an L from him.
Well, I don't think Sukuna is gonna do anything. He's not gonna fight Okotsu. I feel. I think.
I'll tell you this: I wouldn't be mad if he fought and lost to Okotsu. I wouldn't be mad. I just don't see that happen.
I think Sukuna is a very crafty character more than he is like overtly powerful at this point. Like, he could fight Okotsu, and he can do well against him. But I think he would much rather scheme, because he's made his most effective moves being a fucking schemer. So I think that's what's about to happen. I think they may just even talk.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in that. I would love to see just like a weird.
Maybe he's gonna talk about Rika. Maybe there's something he knows.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he knows something about Rika and why she's
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a prevalent curse.
So this could be really, really interesting. There's a new chapter next week, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh,
It's
sorry,
Saturday.
guys. Sorry for the wait.
It's better late than never. Jujutsu Kaisen is great. I mean, I rewatched like a lot of stuff from the anime because it's on HBO Max now. I just threw it on,
Nice.
and I'm appreciating the series a lot more as I continue onward. But yeah, it's a great series. Check it out. If that's all you got to say, you guys, we all good. Then
Yep.
let's close this bad boy out. Thank you guys so much for listening. Oh man, 101, a new era for us. I'm very excited. Thank you guys for waiting. Better late than never, but we're here. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram, Brian at b.esp, Josh at jdcole_37. Follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Comment below and tell us what you thought about this week's comics, manga, whatever. I think that's it, right? Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions. Subscribe, like, comment, leave a 5-star review on iTunes if you are so inclined. Subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you guys listen to podcasts. Alrighty. Thank you guys, and stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace.